Welcome to Clickup tutorial for beginners, and this is chapter number 2. So I'm going to be walking you through the workspace, spaces, lists, folders, tasks, subtasks, and nested subtasks. So this is pretty much the overall hierarchy in Clickup. Now let's start off with the workspace. Think of it as the overall business or the overall company. That's at the topmost hierarchical place in ClickUp. Then the next is the spaces. These are like different departments in your organization or company. Then the next in rank is lists. Each list can composed of different tasks or a specific set of tasks, and these tasks can be general tasks. And you can divide these tasks into different folders to make them much more organized. And then the next in rank is tasks. These are specific tasks for each list of tasks. And the last one is subtask or nested tasks. So as you go down the lowest part of the hierarchy, you can go much more detailed about these specific tasks that each person should accomplish on a specific duration. Another way to look at this is for YouTubers. Let's say, for example, your client is a YouTuber or a content creator. Let's say, for example, I am your client. So my workspace is my business or the company name. Okay, so let's say my company name is RGM or Rich and Good Mentors. And these two spaces below the workspace are my two main YouTube channels, which are Master Technology for Executive Virtual Assistants and Executive Virtual Assistants. So these two main YouTube channels are under the workspace. The first one is more on the technical side of being an executive virtual assistant. The second one is non-technical, just executive virtual assistants, more on tutorials about being an executive virtual assistant. And below the spaces are the lists. So these are like the general tasks that I have to do with my team that might be divided into different folders. And below these tasks and these lists and folders are more specific tasks. Then I have much more specific tasks. Those are subtasks, and the most specific tasks, which are nested subtasks. Now, to give you the actual example of this, let's go over my actual ClickUp workspace. So for you to see your workspace, you can click right here, and you will see the drop-down options and click settings. And here at the left side, you will see different options. Just scroll down and you will see workspaces. So this first workspace is the one that I created sometime last week. So if I click on this and the setting, so you will see that I've already created my workspace name, which is RGM, and you will see the spaces that I've already created as well here. And there you go. So here in the actual, I've already created 4 spaces. And just to give you a heads up, guys, be careful with the spaces that you create, because if I'm not mistaken, for the free plan, you only have 5 limit for the spaces, meaning you cannot create beyond 5 spaces. So you can go as general as possible. So you can have a lot more details inside each space that you create. So here, for example, my first space is professional services. The second space is prospect clients. The third is master technology YouTube channel. And the fourth one is executive virtual assistants YouTube channel. So 4 spaces total. And I've already created some specific tasks and folders in one of these spaces. I believe I did it in Master Technology YouTube channel space. Okay, but we will not go into the detail of that one because I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can create your own workspace. Because this is, well, most likely if you meet your client, you will be the overseer of the total business. As an executive virtual assistant, you will oversee the overall business of your client because you will be like the right hand of your client.
And that's how competent an executive virtual assistant should be.
All right. So meaning you have to oversee different departments and different people in charge for each of those departments. Now, as a beginner ClickUp user, I want you to get familiar with this platform by creating your own workspace. And how can you do that? The first thing is you have to click up here, not click up, you have to click on this icon right next to your workspace name, and you will see another icon that says create workspace. Click on that. Then you have to answer a couple of questions like this one. What will you use this workspace for? I'm going to choose for work. Then the next question is, what would you like to manage? So I chose other. Please specify. I'm going to be typing in overall business. And then hit next. And then you have to invite people to work with you. So you just have to invite them using their email addresses. So let's say for now, I'm going to be using my dummy email address and hit enter. Then hit invite. The next, choose your tools and get started faster. So I'm going to be using Asana, Slack. So these are the tools that supposedly you are already familiar with. And then Google Drive, Microsoft Teams, Trello, Notion, and lastly, Zoom. These are the platforms that I've been using for months or years. Then hit next. Which features are you interested in trying? Okay, as executive virtual assistants, we should be okay to try all of these features or functions. So I'm going to be choosing all of these. But it depends on you. It depends on the type of tasks or work that you want to do for your clients. But in my case, I prefer all of these. Then hit next. And then lastly, what would you like to name your workspace? In my case, or in this case, I'm going to name it the Rich and Good Mentors Departments. And then hit finish. So now if we go to this part again, let's click on that and click settings. And then scroll down, workspaces. We will see our new workspace that we created just now. So RGM departments, and let's go ahead and do some adjustments for the settings. And now we will create our spaces or different departments. Here at the left side, we see spaces. Click on that, and then click add new space. Okay, before we continue creating different spaces for this workspace, I just like to give you an additional insight regarding this, guys, because as executive virtual assistants, we should treat this type of work as a business, not a job. Okay, so we have to have a business mindset, not an employee mindset. That's why it's better if you, as an executive virtual assistant, it's better if you can also create your like organizational chart in ClickUp for your executive virtual assistant business, because you might have multiple clients in the future as a business owner, as an EVA. And as your business starts to grow, you will definitely have different departments that should work for you. So the first department that you might probably be needing first is the marketing department. Why? Because this department is in charge to sell your services to different clients. Without this department, you cannot expand. Without this department, you cannot meet the potential clients. So this department is super important in your business as an executive virtual assistant. And then you can add a description like using different social media platforms. And then you have the option if you want to make it private or not. I'm going to make it private for now. Then hit continue. And then for these options, you don't need to change anything as of the moment. So I will just go ahead and hit create space. And then now you can see it's here at the left side of your workspace, marketing department. So let's maximize the 5 limit or 5 spaces that I believe is the limit for the free plan, free forever plan. So for you to be able to add more spaces, just head over to this icon. So you see spaces, and then right next to that, you'll see these 3 dots for the settings, and then the plus icon, hit this to add another space. So for this one, I'm going to name it production, research and development department, or just production R&D department. for the marketing department. So marketing department, and this one is very related. And then hit continue. Just make it private for now. If it's for your personal use, even if it's for your work or for your business, it always depends on you. Then everything looks fine for now. Create space. You will see it here as well. So we have already created two spaces or two departments for our workspace, which is our GM departments. And you can do the same process for the other three spaces that you still have left. So click plus icon and then repeat the process for the other three spaces or departments. So just like what I said earlier, the limit or the limited number of spaces that you've got for your free plan is 5. So after reaching that specific number, you will have this notification or like a suggestion to upgrade for a paid plan if you want to have more spaces. So the tip for you is make your spaces as general as possible. So you can add a lot of tasks and boxes for each of those 5 spaces. So I will just cross it out for now. I don't need an upgrade yet. So for our general overview, here at the right topmost corner is the name of our workspace. And then here are the 5 spaces or 5 departments that we just created. 5 departments for 5 spaces. We're done with the workspace and spaces. Now let's move on to lists, folders, tasks, subtasks, and nested subtasks. And then let's go back to my actual ClickUp account. So here at the left side corner, you can see the 5 spaces that I've created under the RGM department's workspace. Now let's talk about creating lists, folders, tasks, subtasks, and nested tasks. It actually depends on how many items you have for each space. For example, in this case, in my production and marketing department space, I use a board, not a list, not a folder. Okay? The reason being, these items are, I think, items that don't really need a lot of items within each item. So board is suitable for this one, I guess. So again, it depends on your preferences because you can actually create many different types of categories, not just tasks and folders. So if you click on this plus icon, you will see not just the tasks for lists, not just the folder, but you can also create a doc, a dashboard, a whiteboard, a form, an import from different apps, and you can use some templates. So as you can see here for to do category, I've got 4 tasks created, and these are video ideas, and I've got 4 subtasks under video ideas, and those are thumbnail, title, hook, retention, and script. The next one is video shooting. The third is video editing. The fourth task is polishing and uploading. So I will teach you how to do this exactly because there are some cool features that you can use for each task that you want to create. Like for example, for this specific task of video editing, you can put an assignee, you can tag a specific group member. For this one, this is just for me because I can do video editing. And this one is for another person. And this one is for the due date. And this one is the function for recurring tasks. So if the task is recurring weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, you can have this function as well. And you can also tag this if it's an urgent task or if it's a high priority or if it's just normal or low. So it depends on the level of priority for that specific task. So for urgent, it will easily be seen by the assignee, and with this specific sign, it's a red flag. Now I would like to touch on the operations management department that I created. because I think this is very important for executive virtual assistants. Let's take a look at the next moves list that I've created. So here we have three items. The first one is UPS, or uninterrupted power supply, power source backup. And another one is Dito internet backup. Or here in the Philippines, we have this type of internet backup. The next one is upgraded laptop. So why these three are very important? Let me explain. The first one is the power source backup. So we all know that sometimes we have power outage, we have some problems with the power source and things like that. We have to have our backup for our power source. Why? So we will be able to save all the files, all the things that we finish before a power interruption occurs. Because if not, we might lose everything that we've finished working on. It's good if you have like an auto saving feature for some platforms like Google Docs. What if you don't? That's a problem. So it's very important to have some backups for your power source and for your internet. The third one is an upgraded laptop. Why is this very important as well? Because always remember that as executive virtual assistants, we need to use a lot of high level business tools. And these high level business tools require high level laptops as well. Meaning the laptop that we should be using is something that is already upgraded with, let's say, for example, with high storage capacity and so on. You know what I mean, right? So, to be specific, let's say, for example, your laptop processor should be at least Intel Core i5, not i3. Okay, so my laptop computer right now is i3. I will upgrade to i5 at least. And then the installed RAM should be at least 16 gigabytes. Okay, and the main purpose is for you to be able to work continuously without any interruptions, without experiencing something like your computer freezes because you have opened a lot of tools and platforms for different clients, things like that. For you to be able to avoid that, you have to make sure that your computer is upgraded. And I'm actually done with the UPS power source as my backup. I bought it just a few days ago. So my next moves will be for my internet backup and my upgraded laptop. Now going back to the production and marketing department space, these are considered tasks. Okay, so from video ideas up to the last item, polishing and uploading, these are considered tasks. Now, for us to be able to create subtasks or more detailed tasks, it's very easy actually. For example, here in video ideas board or card, just click here and we have the plus icon that will appear. So these four are the different options for an additional subtask. We have to click on this plus icon. So after clicking on this icon, you can scroll down and you will see that additional space for that subtask that you want to add. So let's say, for example, my next video idea is Clickup full tutorial. Just hit enter to save it. Or if you want to add an assignee, click on this and the email address of the person that you'd like to assign this task to, and then the due date. No need to, I don't usually use start date for any tasks, just the due date. So let's say Sunday. And then I would like to make it a recurring task, not forever. It should be weekly. Okay, not closed. It should be on a schedule. And then hit save. For adding priority, you can use urgent, high, normal, or low. For this one, I'm going to be using normal. It's not urgent. And then hit enter or save. And there you have it. Clickup full tutorial. Then I want to add another video idea about Go High Level tutorial. Add assignee, same process. Add date for the due date, let's say on Sunday. Start recurring, weekly, on a schedule. Not this one, and then hit save. Add priority, should be normal, and then hit save. So that's how easy it is to add subtasks and to add some people or someone as your assignee, the due date, and the level of priority. Very easy, like just a piece of cake, guys. On the next video, for the next chapter, we will be talking about using views with list, board, calendar, Gantt. So stay tuned and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to hit subscribe button so you will never miss any future videos. Take care, everybody.